This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is John Bencich. He is the CEO of ACHV Life Sciences. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is ACHV on NASDAQ. And you can actually see John give a presentation at his upcoming virtual NDR, which will be taking place on April 27th. I will put the link in the description below, so be sure to check it out there. John, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Robert.
It's great to have you on. So this is our first time doing an interview together. So I'd love to start off with a quick overview and history of ACHV.
Yeah, perfect. So ACHV Life Sciences is focused on the development and ultimately commercialization of a drug called Cytisinicline as an aid to smoking cessation and treatment of nicotine addiction. And this is an unusual drug in that it's been around for over 2 decades. It's been sold in Central and Eastern Europe. During that time, been used by over 20 million patients during that time frame, but it's a drug that has never been approved in the US or any major markets for that matter. So we were able to get an exclusive license and supply agreement from the originator of the product, Pharma. And our goal is really to bring this drug out of obscurity and bring it to the rest of the world with a focus really on the US first and then bringing it to the rest of the world beyond that.
So the obvious question that I'm sure you get all the time, so I'm gonna ask it: why wasn't it approved back then? What was some of the hurdles? I know these things can sometimes take a long time, but what was the hurdles?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So that the Pharma is based out of Bulgaria, and when they got this drug approved originally, it was back in the 60s and 70s. And they only joined the EU about a little over 10 years ago. So their focus historically has been, to the east. So their markets are Poland, Ukraine, Russia, kind of that neck of the woods. And so even to this day, that remains their focus. And so, we saw an opportunity here with the drug that had been approved for many years to take advantage of this artifact of it not being approved in any major markets. And given that that's not their focus, it ended up being a great match to allow us to do the heavy lifting to bring this to the rest of the world.
Very good. So what would you say? What about this drug and the development of it? What would you say makes it unique and different compared to your peers out there that are developing certain other types of anti-smoking type either drugs or patches, all that kind of stuff?
Yep. Yeah. So we think we have a really differentiated product profile with Cytisinicline. First and foremost, it's a short course of treatment. Historically, it's been delivered over 25 days. We have extended that out to 6 weeks in our phase 3 trial. We think this compares really favorably to what's on the market today, which is 12 weeks or longer. So we think that shorter target really helps smokers who are looking to quit see that the goal line and get there. We also have a significantly better safety profile. And we think this improved tolerability is really important in this category. This is not oncology where people are willing to put themselves through just about anything to get out the other side. This is more elective. Smokers are typically getting some pressure to quit from a spouse or a loved one. And frankly, if they don't feel well taking the medication, they'll just go back to what they love doing. So we think that improved tolerability is really important, in particular because the other products do have, I would say, a checkered safety profile. Both Chantix and Zyban have had black box warnings in the past for either for suicides or for seizures. Again, not great things to replace the pleasure profile associated with smoking with. And we do think that safety, does lead to poor compliance and ultimately worse outcomes. So we think that improved tolerability really is an advantage for us. And then finally, the drug's also naturally derived. We source it from the seeds of the laburnum tree. And we continue to hear from patients and subjects in our trials that that's an attractive attribute.
And what's your background? I mean, how did you come into all this?
Yeah, so I've been in the biotech space for the better part of 15 years. I'm really seeing kind of the full gamut of development from preclinical all the way through commercial launch of a diagnostic product. And I was with the predecessor company to ACHV, Oncogenics, and we were really out looking for kind of the next great opportunity. We looked at, I think, 100 different products and companies, and we finally honed in on Cytisinicline and ACHV as the one that we saw had the most potential. And I think, frankly, this is a product that that can do more good than almost anything I've worked on historically. This is smoking in particular is the leading cause of preventable death around the globe. And I think a lot of the treatments out there are really working, downstream, with the effects of lung cancer and other cancers that, smoking causes 30% of overall when you look at cancer in general. We think, going upstream and really, helping people quit, can ultimately lead to much better outcomes downstream.
And John, from what you can tell us, what would you say then are some of the company's value catalysts now moving forward?
Yeah, I think one of the key pieces for us is we are in phase 3 development now. We launched our pivotal ORCA-2 phase 3 trial in the fourth quarter of last year. We're right in the midst of enrollment. This is across 15 centers, all in the US. In that trial, we look to complete enrollment by the middle of this year, which will set us up for top line results in the beginning of 2022. So really not too far off. We think that really is one of the key milestones for the company in the not too distant future.
And John, with that, where can our audience go and find everything they need to know to follow along the ACHV story?
Yeah, so you can visit us online, ACHVLifesciences.com. And we've got lots of additional information on there, including some nice media pieces from some of our key opinion leaders. We work with some really great minds in the smoking cessation space, that are all, quite optimistic and bullish on this product getting to market. So please check it out.
John, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Appreciate it, Robert. Thank you.